So student, this is a lecture 33 based on your fifth unit for the subject sensor and instrumentation. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the components of the smart sensor. Means what are the components we are using for designing any smart sensor, or it is used in any smart sensor. Okay, so let's start with some basic points that is important for this smart sensor. Okay, so okay, so whenever we talk about this components of the smart sensor, so as discussed in previous lecture, okay, I have drawn one figure over there. Okay, so you have seen so many components we have used. Okay, so all are also a part of the this component section. Okay, and some other points I want to tell you, like if I talk about, there some first point, like a typical smart sensor comprises of several data processing devices, input output, interface, and communication port. ओके, सो एज वी हैव सीन, जब भी हम कोई भी स्मार्ट सेंसर बनाते हैं, सो जो भी डेटा आ रहा है उस डेटा को हमें फर्दर प्रोसेस करना. सो फॉर प्रोसेसिंग दिस डेटा यू हैव रिक्वायर्ड processor for processing your task, some peripheral devices, okay, some input output devices, okay, for communication. So these are also the part of the smart sensor. Okay, so one by one we will discuss later. Second point, the processing is done by inbuilt microprocessor or sometimes we use the term microcontroller also, because जब भी हम प्रोसेसर की बात करते हैं तो उसके अंदर क्या है, माइक्रो कंट्रोलर we can say कि is also available. Okay, so which is embedded with machine learning and fuzzy logic algorithms. Okay, so obviously अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि as I told you in previous lecture कि जब भी हम स्मार्ट सेंसर की बात कर रहे हैं क्या हो रहा है, सेंसर जो भी है, सेंसर को अगर हम एक डिवाइस ले, सो लेट्स सी दिस डिवाइस ऑलरेडी कम्युनिकेटिंग विद अनदर डिवाइस। ओके, सो मशीन अपने आप ही खुद कम्युनिकेट कर रही है, खुद से वो सीख रही है कि किससे कहाँ पे कम्युनिकेट करना है और डेटा को कब हमें प्रोसेस करना है, कब नहीं करना है, किस डिवाइस को कंट्रोल सेंड करना है। सो ऑल द थिंग्स आर डूइंग बाय इटसेल्फ. So machine learning is concept is there in the case of the smart sensor. Okay, so these are the some important point regarding the this smart sensor. Let's discuss one by one about the uh, components part. Okay, student, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so let's discuss about some another components part. Okay, so you know the primary element over there. Okay, so primary elements are used in any smart sensor. Okay, uh, if I talk about the primary elements for any sensor, okay, so we can say um, detector, okay, so detector is means detecting something, okay, so whatever is input is given to the sensor, it is detecting the physical quantity, okay. So basic primary element तो क्या हो गया आपका detector, because it is also part of the your smart sensor. Clear? Another you have seen, that is your amplifier. For the purpose of amplification. Okay. So amplifier क्या करता है? Suppose for example, the output received by the your sensor. Okay. So let's see the amplitude is in this way. Okay. So that amplitude in the millivolt. Okay. Now if you want to transmit this data, okay, but you have to amplify the signal. Okay, so what do you have? You use the amplifier over there. So I'm just writing the op amp over here. Okay, so after that you will get the data in volt form. So magnitude क्या हो गया आपका? Increase होगा. Okay, so second one is the your amplifier, detectors, amplifiers. Next one is the filters. Okay, so filters किस लिए use करते हैं? I'm just writing the point, okay? Because we all these things we already discussed about this these components. So filter is used for removing the noise. Okay. So noise means ये क्या होता है noise? These are the unwanted signal. Okay. So basically what happened when you transmit the data? Okay. Suppose सेंसर ने डिटेक्ट किया फिजिकल क्वांटिटी एंड इफ यू वांट टू जो भी आउटपुट पे आ रहा है, if you want to transmit this data, okay, so वो जो भी ट्रांसमिट किया रिसीवर पे रिसीव हो गया. So maybe possibilities that there are noise added between these channel means ऐसे समझते हैं कि you have one tx one rx. ओके, सो इस यहाँ से डेटा आपको क्या करना है, सेंड करना है रिसीवर पे. सो द बिटवीन दिस इज अ चैनल जिसके थ्रू आप भेज रहे हो. सो मे बी पॉसिबिलिटी नॉइज इज एडेड हियर. ओके, नाउ अब आपको अगर मैं एज ए योर डोमेन बात करूं तो आपको लेट्स से ये डेटा सेंड करना था. ओके, मे बी पॉसिबिलिटीज कि आप जब करते हो so that data change with this. Okay, but you know कि this is not correct one. So maybe possibilities कि यहाँ पे noise जो ऐड हुई है उसकी वजह से आपका डेटा चेंज हो गया. Okay, so the filters are used for removing your noise. Clear? So we use the amplification, we use the filters. Okay, now the next one is your converters. Okay, so we know the use of the converters. Okay? We have read about your ADC and DAC, analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. ये सारे हम पढ़ चुके हैं. So basically कन्वर्टर्स का यूज क्या है कि जो फिजिकल क्वांटिटी से जो प्रोसेस हो रही है सेंसर डिटेक्ट कर रहा है उसके बाद वो आउटपुट दे रहा है. अब जो आउटपुट आ रहा है दैट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द एनालॉग. Okay, now we want to convert this signal into digital because you have already added the processor. Because जो भी प्रोसेसिंग होनी है वो किससे होनी है, प्रोसेसर से होनी है. तो इनपुट डेटा कहाँ जाएगा, जो भी आउटपुट ऑफ द सेंसर इट विल गोज टू फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग एज ए इनपुट टू द माइक्रोप्रोसेसर और माइक्रोकंट्रोलर. एंड माइक्रोप्रोसेसर और माइक्रोकंट्रोलर आर डिजिटल. So they will take or they will understand only 1 and 0. So you have to convert the signal. So we use the ADC, analog to digital converter. Same if you want to publish or display your data. Okay, so in both cases you have required. Suppose you want to display your data in the form of the analog, then you have to use the DAC. Okay, so converters is also the part of the component. Okay, now next one is the information processing. Okay, so for processing information, the component use your microprocessor and microcontroller for controlling the command. Okay, so it is also a part of the component. माइक्रोप्रोसेसर माइक्रोकंट्रोलर्स के बारे में आप जानते हैं. Data communication, if you want to communicate your data, so D2D communication is required. Okay, so we can say data communication. Okay, so for communicating from one device to another device, you have to the connectivity. So कंपोनेंट की अगर बात करें, अगर हार्डवेयर की बात करें तो You can use the Bluetooth. Okay, your Wi-Fi module over there. Okay, so it will also be part of the your components. Okay, there is another term use signal conditioning. Okay, so जो मैंने first component की बात किया आपको, like I already talked about there. Sorry, second and third. So it is a part of the signal condition. Okay, another component is you can add the voltage equalizer. Okay, sometimes what happens कि जो आपके पास output आ रहा है, okay, that will be in the form of the oscillations. Okay, वो कुछ ऐसे आता है. Okay, so अब आपको जो required होता है, the data should be 0 or 1 form. So we use the equalizer over here. Okay, so these are the components we use the in smart sensor. Okay, आप बहुत सारे components खुद से लिख सकते हो, like input output devices, peripheral devices. Okay, so आप examples लेके वहाँ पे explain कर सकते हो. Okay. So this is okay. We have discussed some point related this smart sensor. Then अगर बात करें so detector, amplifier, filters, converters, microprocessor, microcontrollers. Okay, and Bluetooth, Wi-Fi module, voltage equalizer. So these are the components we use in within the smart sensor. Okay.